Okay, this is going to be an oh shit.
This is the oh shit. All right, I better.
It's gonna be an oh shit.
Gonna need a nap.
Yo ho ho, it's time for the boating show. Living on the water is the only life we know. Yo ho ho ho, it's time for the boating show.
Hey friends, this is the fourth and final, for now, episode from Brooklin Boat Yard. You're going to hear a tour of the winter storage sheds by John Maxwell, accompanied by his wife Sarah Maxwell, and myself. We walk through really a fun house of incredible boats that are tucked in tight for the winter, and John tells us all about them. Look forward to Steph rejoining us. She's had some nasty bronchitis, but is on the mend, and we hope to have her back very soon. Enjoy.
Way in the corner is Tink, the Egamon 47 Plus, the third generation of the 47s. Oh, that corner. I mean, you can't really see much of the boat, but and watch yourself here. Pretty aggressive underbody keel.
So what are some characteristics of that make it aggressive?
Characteristics of it, the way that it changed from the previous second generation is that, one, it's a deeper keel by about a foot. It's a shorter chord section.
Okay.
Chord being
Deeper meaning, so total
depth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shorter chord meaning.
Shorter chord meaning skinnier this way.
Okay.
Fore to aft.
Yep.
It's a slightly different foil shape, and the bulb is a different design as to what was there before.
And that was an in-house design?
Yeah.
All that?
Yeah. Who you didn't get to meet Will Sturdy. He was in that meeting.
Yeah.
Down on that floor when he came down the stairs. Will had, well, I'll go back a little bit. Will came to Brooklin Boat Yard from the Webb Institute. He and his not then girlfriend, Kelly, came and they interned with us, part of Webb's program, Naval Architecture. You need to go out and actually work in a boatyard. And they helped build Sunny 2, which was 72 foot. And then the internship ended, and Kelly decided she would go back to Webb Institute, and Will just said, I'm just going to stay here and work. And he became the head designer. Not right away. Sure. But in working with, other guys that we had working there at the time. And he's since become that. So Will, I realized quickly that he was a good sailor. And so I said, then I want you to come and race with us on, it just happens to be right here, on this boat. This was Lynette. Now it's called Sparrow, but this was Lynette. So this is the second generation of the Egamon 47s. Okay. So you can see the differences. Okay. How long the chord length is. Yeah. If you put your hands on that one, you'd see that it was a slightly thinner foil section. Yeah. And you can see the difference in the bulb as well. Right.
So what advantage does that shape have over this?
It'll beat the shit out of that one.
Yeah.
That's the advantage you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
I see. I'm just as a...
And it all came about because the guy who is the owner of Tink was actually thinking of buying this boat. Because my friend, who you may meet tomorrow, who owned this boat, was going to be building a new boat.
Got it.
And so he was, playing around with the idea of selling this ahead of time. He ended up selling it to somebody else, but in the process of talking about this boat, it was like, okay, well, what would you change to make things different? And the conversation got wider and longer, and
as it often does.
Not the boat, but the conversation. And And it's like, well, I guess we're building a new boat, aren't we? So
Yeah.
Will designed it,
And that became the Max.
and that became the X, or the
Max.
Plus.
Plus, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in the V in the hull. Because it's a pretty sharp
Yep,
V that runs stem to stern.
yep.
And is that for lateral?
Yeah, that amount of dead rise,
Yeah.
you got to remember the boat's sailing like this.
Oh, okay.
So that amount of dead rise gives you that much more surface to, hold the boat up.
So that becomes buoyancy under sail.
Correct. And these boats,
okay.
skinny boats like this,
Yeah.
love to sail on their ear. When we go to windward, the water is lapping at the top of the tow rail.
Okay. That's where
And
that's where you're gonna, that's just where you're gonna be.
That's the most effect for these skinny boats like this. It's the most effective angle.
So they really want to be upwind,
Yeah.
not necessarily downwind.
No, and downwind, it's just, they're built really light. So, and they got a big tall rig.
Yeah.
So
So hold
yeah.
on. So this dead rise, which in
It won't, like some boats that you see now, sort of what they term the sport boats, when they put a chute up, they're starting to plane.
yeah,
You won't plane in
Right.
this. You get close, but you won't plane.
which is remarkable if you get close because of that dead rise on a boat this. So if I'm looking, what I'm really doing here is looking at a wetted surface that
Yeah,
is in play during a port tack.
well, corridor starboard.
Yeah, so like each half of the boat is its own wetted surface.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas, you look at dead rise and power boats, and it's all about how does it handle chop. That's not.
Right.
That's a whole different
Right.
kind of dead rise here. Well, hello.
Yeah. That's not the Aquila that's for sale, but it's also named Aquila. And it belongs to.
I'm not going to get on the boat, I just am going to go up this ladder.
Okay.
Okay.
If
Well, I'm
you
going to take a
wanna-
video of it in case you fall.
If you want to go on board, you can.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just want to kind of, I didn't mean to.
That's a Hinkley Pilot.
They're not making sailboats anymore.
No, they haven't made sailboats for 15 years,
Right.
maybe.
Right.
So that's the Pilot 35, and that's 35 overall. And this is the boat. This is the Center Harbor 35, which we saw in the water, and now here it is.
Okay.
This is the same one. They hauled it out right after we did our
Oh,
little.
really?
Yeah. Wild, huh?
Yeah. That was
And so
efficient.
this is interesting because most of the Center Harbor 31s, the smaller one, most of them have a deep, wait a second, is this? No, this is Grace. Never mind. This is the first of the Center Harbor 31s to be built.
Okay.
And she's got a very long chord, shallow draft keel. She's catch rigged also, which none of the others are. The rest of them, they'll probably see one over in here somewhere. Pretty short chord, deep fin bulb type keel,
Okay.
like we see on these others, but not quite as extreme as the one.
So trade-off there is maybe you don't get as.
This has got a nice easy groove
Okay.
to sail in. The ones with shorter, deeper keels, a little less of a sweet spot. You got to be a little more on top
Shorter
of it.
chord.
Shorter chord, yeah. I mean, it's
Shorter chord, deeper. So
yeah. So it's kind of like
like that back
if
there.
you get something that big, wheelbase versus that big wheelbase.
Okay. Yeah.
What's going to turn quicker?
So that back there, that's going to be a much more sensitive.
It's more sensitive, but it's also more efficient. And so you're going to sail closer to the wind, and
I'm going to go up the ladder and just take a peek in there. Yeah, it's a lot of cockpit. Oh, good God.
Oh, this. If you're ever going to buy it, if you're going to own this boat,
Okay.
it's built by the perfectly named boat company for this type of boat.
Okay.
It's the Martini Boat Company.
Yes, the Martini cocktail cruiser. Patrick, our friend Patrick, he really needs this. He needs a lot of boats.
Yep. So this is generation number 1 of the Agamagan 47.
Yeah.
So
Well, we saw that in the water. That's what I was saying.
no, you didn't see this one in the water.
What did I saw an
You saw
Agamagan.
generation 2. The
Okay.
white boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the same as the one in there.
Yeah, okay.
So you can see the difference in the keel shape between generation 1 and generation 2. And then what we also did was we powered up the rig a little bit more, gave it a different rudder to sort of match the keel. And where the cockpit coamings you can see come way out to the edge, we brought those inboard a little bit more to, they would just bump out a little bit from the line of the cabin. And it made it for a prettier boat, I think.
Yeah.
Although this boat is gorgeous in the water.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I in the automotive world, they'll talk about it looks fast standing still.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's interesting, since you explained the purpose of the dead rise,
Yeah.
I look at these in a whole different way. Like, I'm looking at it now thinking, almost in my mind's eye, thinking about it
Over on its side.
Over on its side, at
Yeah.
that wetted surface, what's it doing?
This lobster boat I love.
Oh, jeez, Lou.
That's an Orno Day.
That is
This was
gorgeous.
originally the keeper's boat for a lighthouse down in Penobscot Bay. Now owned by some summer folks from out on Swan's Island. And it's got just a great name.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. That's just right. Just
Yeah.
right.
That's the same name as John Blue's Pisces 21. It's named Biscuit as well. Now here, this boat, Northern Rose. This is a Joel White design. That the hull was started by a guy who passed away, and so it was sort of roughly strip planked, and his wife, widow, had no idea what to do with it, and so we bought it from her and finished it off, and then sold it, and it's now in its second ownership, and it's a great little cruiser, day sailor, double-ended
Yeah.
sloop.
I'll bet it makes people happy in
29 feet.
a specific kind of way.
Yep, it does.
She looks, for 29 feet, she looks like,
There's a lot there.
yeah,
Yeah.
beamier but not fat.
Yep.
Carries the beam
So
forward.
this boat here is kind of hard to see, but remember Havilah was talking about, he said, a boat Vixen, where the only thing that was that you had to design around was the square footage of the sail, which was 15 square meters. This is Vixen. Vixen was. Remember we were talking about.
Story.
Remember we were talking about the boat that was in the Travel of Katrinka?
Yeah.
That guy brought that boat to us and it was a wreck, and we took the deck off and
Yep.
gutted it.
Yep.
All this kind of stuff. Well, he bought this boat, which is a 15 square meter, sight unseen. The boat's in Stockholm on a trailer. They put it in a container and they shipped it to Brooklin Boat Yard.
So you opened up a present.
We opened up the present and then we did our thing
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And she is a rocket ship.
Really?
Yeah.
Beauty.
I mean,
You need to look that way.
okay.
The transom is like the size of my hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that angle did not do it justice.
Yeah.
So this long overhang with basically that short water line, but
Yeah.
15 square meters of sail, probably like you need a nap after you sail it? I don't know.
A really interesting story is this boat was built in England, okay, and it knocked around there for the longest time. And the way that it ended up in Sweden was in a race. called the Ufa Fox Challenge. Ufa Fox is a yacht designer, and so it was a race from England to Sweden. So these three crazy Brits sailed this boat. They sailed across the channel to the Kiel Canal, and then they go through the Kiel Canal, and then they go up to Sweden from there. So there's three of them on this boat, and it's not really in that great a condition. So their motto was, they're three guys, one to sleep, one to sail, one to bail. And they won.
Yeah.
You know, one of those crazy Brit things, you know.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, ex-military guys.
Right.
Like,
Actually,
let's go do this.
either like
Yeah.
late 20s or ex-military or both.
Right. But she is a rocket ship.
Wow.
So pretty in the water.
Yeah.
And she sits right off our dock. And so when you get down there in the morning, you know, when it's one of those calm mornings, and you see the absolute mirror shape of her in the water, it's just like, oh yeah.
Biscuits finish is
Beauty, huh?
so nice.
Yeah, we've been working hard on it for a couple of years since we got it, and it's really starting to pay off. Yeah, we bring it out to Swans Island for them, and it's like, who wants to bring biscuit? Yeah, I'll do it!
I'm impressed with how far forward the engine is, but I guess when I step back and look,
Yeah,
it's more like the actual, the helm is far back,
yeah.
not so much that the engine's far forward. There's that transition.
And the transition, is that what you were looking
Yeah.
at from the?
It just makes so much sense at a moderate speed.
Yeah. This is a Parashot Buzzards Bay 25. 25 on the waterline,
Okay.
33 overall. This is built cold molded with a skin of glass on the outside.
I sailed on one of these years ago.
Yeah.
Another beauty.
Yeah. I want to say like, oh, it's like overwhelming. It's too much, but it's not. I'm keeping up, which is really enjoyable. You know.
This is a Jarvis Newman Dictator friendship sloop with the bowsprit taken off so that we can paint that down on the ground. And then behind that, the dark boat, that is Dreadnought, and she is the first of the Jim Taylor 49s, which we saw the boat Blackfish out on the
Yeah.
harbor. Yeah, so that's inspired by that one.
You mentioned that while we were.
And there was actually that fella Tom Morris. Tom got on Rascal, Patrick Wilmerding's 49, 50, and he went. I saw him. He went out sailing.
Oh, cool. This, that's just an interesting glue to that boat. What's that boat all about?
I forget who the designer is on that boat, but it belongs to the Becton family, and it's been in their family forever. And it was just where Jeff Becton asked me, he said, what should we do with this thing? It's just like it's falling apart. And I said, we're getting older. And I said, well, you know, what do you want? Do you want to keep it in the family? And he was like, yeah, we do. And I said, well, you know, got to put some money into it. And so they did a complete rebuild on it.
I really respect the choice of colors.
Yeah. That's the colors that were there.
So people come to you to hear the answers that they already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're going to tell them not to do.
Yeah.
If we've got boats that are in cold storage that we can't do anything on, man, we're
Yeah.
you know.
I see why you mentioned that the yard will take August off. Because
Everything's out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you've done your job the rest of the year.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, unless something breaks.
Who was the gentleman that we met on the dock? The mechanic. What was his name?
Oh, Alan.
Alan. Okay.
Alan Dodge. Yeah, he grew up just down the street. Good sailor. Okay, this is going to be an oh shit.
This is the oh shit. All right. I
It's gonna
better.
be an oh shit.
Gonna need a nap.
I'm getting overwhelmed.
Oh boy.
Too much beauty.
Is it a Trumpy?
Consolidated.
Consolidated.
Matthews. Brooklin Boat Yard.
Hey, Hey.
Actually, Wheeler 55.
Okay,
Yeah.
you mentioned that before. Okay.
Yeah. There's the boat Katrinka that we saw coming out of the water and getting onto the trailer.
This morning?
Yeah.
You guys don't mess around. You like that Alarian?
Yeah. So
That Alarian. So the proportions of that, Sarah? That's more of what you're looking for.
And you know the thing that I actually go a little crazy over is this, you know, the way this hollows out right before the point.
That makes you fluttery?
Missy listening to engines.
Yeah. Hollow sections toward the bow don't do anything for Missy, but everybody has their, you know.
It's so like sensual.
Maybe it would, and if we put a 454 in an Alarian for Missy.
At the right angle, you can't really see it here.
Well, that's the nice thing about it is it's not like it's slapping you in the face with it.
No,
with it, yeah.
Pure elegance and artistry.
So when we were at the Thousand Islands Boat Museum, we were on a Trumpy that had been it was a sister of the presidential yacht, and it is of probably a similar era to this. Whew.
Goddess, a great name.
All right. Now we get to go.
Now we get the booties.
Go boat walking.
I can take my shoes off too.
I can hop on one leg.
I was going to warn you that John's feet are going to stink.
No.
That we can decide to edit that or not. What you just said. So
No, leave the farting.
it's you know, it's totally crazy. Like all the marinas in the Thousand Islands, they require booties on stored boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And we've gotten into that now too.
No, I'm joking.
No. Well, we didn't for the longest time, and boats would get really dirty and everything.
Well, that just makes more work. And so what are we on?
I believe it's a consolidated, and I don't know how long or the model name.
Bro, really? This is making me talk like an idiot. Oh. So this...
And she comes up from Newport for the winter.
She's pretty tall for...
Yeah.
I mean, this bridge deck is a different kind of thing.
Yeah, well...
The little...
You know, and the door is a little lower than the ceiling.
You're always looking for a lower freeboard hydraulic trailer. Look at that. The horns are off the roof.
Yeah, we take all that stuff off.
That's down. So it comes up from Newport.
Yep.
Can we go down below?
I haven't been down below this.
It's a lot of interior space because of the bridge deck. It's nice that the salon, it's just living space.
Yeah.
You know, without that bridge deck, there'd be a panel and a helm and a this and a that. Still has that stored boat smell.
Yeah.
What is she under? I mean, a mooring cover? Boathouse?
What?
I'm just wondering when she's out for the season. I guess there's canvas covers for everything here.
Probably.
Yeah. All that upholstery.
But no, she's out.
I was looking for cigarette lighters.
And ashtrays.
Ashtrays, yeah.
Hey, we can go right next door.
Syntax. That works for me. That name. Biscuit syntax. There's probably a 2-syllable and some consonants that makes a name.
We've got a lower lifeline there, so just step over that.
Okay.
We just launched this one this spring, too.
Built last year
Yeah.
through the flood and all.
Through the flood and all.
Oh, glorious. Oh boy. Huh.
Quite the skylight.
Quite the spot to relax. 59, did you say?
55.
55. First of her design?
Yep. Soon to be followed by another.
I can imagine. Is she home around here? Or does she?
She was down in Nantucket for the vineyard, but the guy is from around here somewhere. I haven't met him, but he gave us all really nice buck knives with syntax written on them for
There you go.
a launching present.
He knows his audience.
Yep.
Good Lord, this clear finish. Just like a acre of...
So I brought some friends of ours. Came by the yard one time and I gave them a little tour. Gary Bearded.
Yeah.
And Steve Ventino was working on it. I think it was one of the other guys. Anyways, there's a wet bar right here, and he goes, And the window was like it was, and he just goes, well, and you can, give drinks to the people in the cockpit, and he pushes a button, and the window goes down.
Oh, like he was serving bar.
Yeah.
Huh. Whoa, boy.
So she'll be here this winter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they have plans for afterwards. I mean, it's like any boat, any new boat. Essentially, its first summer is sort of a extended sea trial, see what needs to be tweaked.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So she's back here for this winter. She'll be back in, and we'll see what happens with it.
Uh-huh.
So the first wheeler that you guys built was
38.
smaller.
Yeah.
So this is based off of that design, or just a whole new design?
It's a whole new design, but it's the same aesthetic.
Lordy. I'm trying not to fall through.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. I'm gonna get back up out of here because there are hatches up. Thank you for the headroom.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So this is, those
That skylight.
blinds that just pull back and forth like that, and then a big semi-king.
So the same carpenters and
Yep.
shipbuilders and designers that do.
And Julian came in like halfway through with this, and it's like, holy shit.
This was the project he mentioned that he was halfway through on.
Yeah.
Huh. Man, it must be so engaging because no day is the same.
No, it's not.
I don't often feel like I don't have to hunch
I know what you mean.
in hatches and
Yeah,
with headroom.
but it's a good habit when you're on a boat. To,
Yeah.
Just kind of a little bit.
So when Lynn and I came to the yard, it was like a year or so ago. When was this launched?
No, it was last summer,
When was this launched?
last spring.
Oh.
Was this still here?
Spring of 24?
Yeah, so it wasn't completed yet.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
in the shop.
Well, yeah, it was kind of in the summer.
Yeah, and
I missed the launching part.
and we were able to be somehow next to it, sort of looking in.
Oh, okay.
We weren't, I forget, sort of
Yeah.
the positioning of all the
Oh,
walkways and
inside.
stuff. Inside, yeah. And anyway, it wasn't completed. It was just massive.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it from that point of view, it was
Yeah.
absolutely massive. It's kind of cool to be on it now, and it still is massive, but obviously all the finish work and everything in it fills up the space nicely, but
Is this a commuter style? Is that what I'm...
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of?
30s, 40s motor yacht.
Motor yacht, okay.
Yeah.
Not necessarily commuter.
No. Aphrodite was a commuter, and like Zipper was a commuter style.
Right.
Yeah.
The motor yacht of this era was narrower. Like when I was on the one in the Thousand Islands, that Trumpy, that's where I feel like I'm too wide and too tall everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And there's just that much more space to move here.
You guys go ahead.
Okay. Epic swim platform.
I didn't get a chance to introduce you to the two principal guys that move boats.
Mm-hmm.
There's Richie, and then there's Super Jake.
Super Jake?
Super Jake. And Jake is about this tall, strong as a bear.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that, it's not heavy or anything. It's just like you look at his arms and you go like, ooh.
Right.
Those two guys, they have the most incredible spatial awareness. You see them moving this stuff in. I mean, look at how much there is to them.
Inches.
Yeah.
And they know.
And
They have proprioception that extends like way outside their body.
They have the equipment. They know their equipment. They know the capabilities. It's just unbelievable what they do.
and to be able to sort of visually calculate,
Yeah.
Right.
like, okay, how much space
And it's like,
is that?
okay, you need to take this and go up the hill and around the corner and over some bumpy stuff and then put it in something that you've got this much to go into the door.
Yo ho ho, that's it for the boating show. Pack the cooler, grab the lines, let's go, go, go.